Told my team this week, reminder, we are approaching hurricane season. Man, it just doesn't seem real. It doesn't seem like it is here already, but it is close. If you're someone that lives in a home that is in a flood zone, you should make sure that you have your flood insurance and everything is good. If you live in a home and you're not in a flood zone, guess what? I don't care what FEMA says. You're in a flood zone, okay? We're a peninsula. Tampa Bay is a peninsula. The whole thing's a flood zone, okay? Don't listen to what FEMA says, what a flood zone is. Don't pay attention to ABC. Get flood insurance. The majority of people that had damage during the last set of storms were in non-flood zones because the government decides and runs FEMA and picks flood zone based only on the elevation of the house. And that is the most flawed logic possible to determine how likely your house is to flood. Flood insurance is not determined by how often your house floods. It's not determined by the drainage in an area, the proximity to water, the likelihood of a house flooding, purely the elevation. That's it. It's the only thing that matters. And I can tell you that any insurance that factors in and puts so much emphasis on only one variable is very, very flawed. If you own a home, if you're buying a home in Tampa Bay, get flood insurance. It is great peace of mind. If you're not in a flood zone, it's really cheap. And I can tell you the number of people that I deal with on a daily basis still today that have damage and flood from the last set of storms that did not have flood insurance and weren't in flood zones. It's astronomical. So I can't encourage people enough to look at getting flood insurance, even if you're not in a quote unquote flood zone or your lender doesn't require it. Your lender is protecting themselves. They have other insurance. They're not protecting you. Protecting you is get insurance. Get flood insurance. I'll say it over and over and over again. The only people that should not get flood insurance are people whose land value is so massively high that even if the house got demolished, the person wouldn't lose money. Those people, okay, maybe they don't get flood insurance. Everyone else should have it. If you don't have it, you're just asking for trouble. You're going to be the next statistic. Look at Katrina, look at Helene, look at Milton, look at all the storms we've had and the areas that got hit and the massive amount of people that had their homes flooded from rain, even not even from the ocean, that didn't have flood insurance, and the billions of dollars in damage. Do not rely on the federal government to tell you whether you should or shouldn't have insurance. They have no idea what they're doing. It's a joke. It's laughable. I mean, if you look at the statistics and see how many people that are not in flood zones that flood every year, it's hilarious. So get flood insurance. I can't say it enough. If you're thinking about selling your house, look, I want to talk to you about cash offers. There are a lot of people out there that will say, hey, I will give you a cash offer. There are other people who will say, we'll give you a cash offer if your home doesn't sell. We do that as well. But I want you to understand that if someone's going to buy your house for a cash offer, you need to look at two things. One, you need to look at the opportunity cost. What is that convenience worth to you? How much of your equity are you leaving on the table? Because nobody is giving you a free ride. There's no such thing as a free lunch. No one's buying your house for full market value. They're buying your house so they can make money. So they can turn around and either rent or sell your house. They want some equity if they're going to buy your house cash before anyone puts it on the market. It's a fairy tale to think that somebody with a cash offer is going to come in and give you what you think the house is worth. I want $300 for my $300,000 house and I want it cash. No one's doing that today. It's just not the market for it. So you're going to have to give up something if you take a cash offer. You're going to have to give up some equity, some terms, something. Now, what we do is we'll give you both options. We'll say, hey, look, if we sell traditional, here's what we think you can get. If we buy cash, here's what's going to happen. And to each their own. Some people will take the cash and be okay with a little loss of equity. Some people want maximum dollars. You've got to decide what's more important to you. Do you want the most amount of money or the maximum convenience? Because you really can't have both. It's just not realistic. So if you want a cash offer or you want to go traditional or you just want to know your home value, hit up DuncanDuo.com. Again, that is DuncanDuo.com. Really quick, easy to use form. You can also text us 813-359-8990. Again, that's 813-359-8990, and we can send you the information that way as well.